Okay, so now we are going to discuss another question arises here. How basically aldosterone make urine formation lower? How aldosterone make urine formation lower? So here you can see basically, yes. Okay, so here is a point. Basically, aldosterone with this will act on the cells of DCT. This aldosterone will act on the cells of DCT. Will act on the cells of DCT. And when this will act on the cells of DCT and it has power to increase the sodium potassium pump. This aldosterone when act on the cells of DCT, if I can make it the DCT. So these are the cells of DCT which are named as macula densa. So this aldosterone have power to increase the sodium potassium pump. So here there will be the more numbers of sodium potassium pump. So here we have the increase in sodium potassium pump. So when the sodium potassium pump will increase in the cells of DCT, so this means through this paratubular capillary, here you can see, yes, through this paratubular capillary, we can say 2 potassium will go inside and 3 Na will go inside. Okay, so this is how basically the we can say sodium potassium pump exchange, and water will also be moved towards paratubular capillary, and through this DCT, in this DCT here the water will also move into the paratubular capillary, and when this water will move into the paratubular capillary, so here you can see BP is lower down, and when BP is lower down, so this means urine formation is lower. Urine formation is lower. Sorry, when the BP is increased, जब फॉर एग्जांपल किसी की बीपी बढ़ जाती है तो उसकी यूरिन फॉर्मेशन क्या हो जाती है, कम हो जाती है, क्योंकि यूरिन फॉर्मेशन कम क्यों होती है, बिकॉज मोस्ट ऑफ द वाटर इज एब्जॉर्ब्ड इन द we can say in the paratubular capillary. Now here the question, another question arises. The question is basically, yes, the question is BP, when BP is increased, when BP is increased, so which basically organ have the problem? As we have discussed, when BP is decreased, so renin and aldosterone are released. So now when BP is increased, so basically this is the heart. Heart has problem when BP is increase. So now let's see what's the problem in the heart when actually we're gonna increase the BP. जब हम BP को क्या कर रहे हैं, increase कर रहे हैं, okay? So here you can see, fine. So here, as we know, this is the heart, and heart have 4 chambers. First two are known as atrium. Second and last, we can the second two are known as ventricles. So these basically here you can see these atria are present. Sorry, atrium. These atrium will produce one factor. They will produce one factor. That factor is known as arterial natriuretic factor. Arterial natriuretic factor, which is also known as ANF. ANF, arterial natriuretic factor. So when this arterial natriuretic factor is produced, so this is basically the main problem of this is, or main function of this is basically the enemy of renin. So when this is the enemy, as we know, renin basically have to increase the blood pressure, and this is the enemy of renin, so this will decrease the blood pressure. This will decrease the blood pressure. Or we can say enemy of renin, with that this is also known as vasodilator. वेजल को क्या करता है, डायलेट करता है। व्हेन वेजल से डायलेट, दिस मीन्स वेजल्स चौड़ी हो जाती हैं। डायलेट मतलब वॉल्यूम इज इंक्रीज, एंड वॉल्यूम इज इंक्रीज तो मतलब ब्लड pressure is decrease. So this is the basically the work of, we can say, work of heart. Like arteria produce one basically chemical which is known as, that is known as arterial natriuretic factor, and this arterial natriuretic factor is basically the enemy of renin, or it is also known as vasodilator, which basically decrease the blood pressure and increase the volume. So this is all for today. In the next video, we're gonna discuss about osmolarity in blood.